Everybody doing? It looks like they're having a good time, just with a couple friends. Yeah, we falling. Yeah, we vibing. Yeah, we just straight riding. Me and my best friends. Yeah, we diving from the top of a ramp. See you later, my guy. See you later, my guy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? The world's a better place because you're here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. It is a Wednesday, the 21st of May, 2025, and we're here to talk about what's going on in the world of sports. Of course, the return of Alec Reaves. Alec, it's great to see you. I missed you these past couple weeks, bro.
Matt, my man, it's good to be back talking sports with you. Exciting playoffs going on, and yeah, man, it's good to see you too, my brother.
Amen. And as we're about to talk about what's going on in the world of sports, previewing conference finals, talking some baseball, and react to the PGA Championship, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcast platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X and Twitter at PodGobblePod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations, and Facebook at Productive Conversations. So, Alec, we've had quite a lot of life things that took place over the past couple of weeks, but we're back and we're going to talk to you right now before you go on your little vacation, which is well deserved. So let's make the most of this, and then we'll see you in a couple weeks, and then we'll rock and roll after that and do what we've been doing every week. But how are you doing?
Yes,
This is
sir.
such a great time for the sports world. How we hanging amongst it?
Dude, doing well. I mean, I can't complain. The Knicks are going. They're playing for the Eastern Conference Finals. The Yankees took two out of three from crosstown rival Mets. The Red Sox continue to struggle. The Dodgers got swept. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
fucking great weekend, man. Can't complain. We got say great play hockey, but some good games. You know, the Leafs got absolutely torched in Game 7. That was a little winning. I was hoping for a close game, but
Cursed.
yeah, man, I'm just excited for mainly the Knicks and the Soto's return to the Bronx, a huge the weekend. PGA Championship, so a lot going on. We got WNBA's. I heard a lot talk about. So there's a lot going on. It's all good though, man. New York's back.
Dude, how could it get any better than that, Alec? How could it get any better than that? So let's get to that, bro. Why don't we quickly.
By winning a finals.
Yes, that is true. Hopefully, we're about to start a 6 weeks we will never forget, brother. That we never forget.
I
So,
hope so, bro.
so why don't we first talk about the NBA right now? As we talk about our New York Knicks have done the thing that they haven't done in 25 years. They're back in the Eastern Conference Finals after taking Boston 4-2 from them. The Pacers took out the best
Hmm.
team in the regular season. They took care of them pretty handily despite the injuries Cleveland had. But the Pacers are out. Then in the Western Conference, as we're recording right now for game one, Oklahoma City and Minnesota going face to face. One of these two franchises are going to have the chance to win their first ever title in their respective towns. And yeah, bro, first things first, oh, you hit on the Knicks. They have so much momentum going their way. Everybody's
Yep.
healthy. They have now a little bit more motivation taking on the team that knocked them out of the playoffs after they were crumbling with injuries. Pacers are pretty much the same as they were last year. They're pretty much the exact same team, only maybe even a little more durable because
Right.
they're healthy too. But those two teams going at each other mano e mano. What you feeling, my brother?
The series, man. That's this Thunder Wolf series. I was tickets for that series. Game one were like 170, 180 to get in the door, but Pacers was like 600, $700. So, dude, just a big rivalry. I mean, it doesn't get better than Knicks Pacers. These two teams don't like each other. Rivalry going back to Reggie Miller and those days, and
Patrick Ewing.
obviously they beat us. Of course, Patrick Ewing. I mean, going back to last season though, they did eliminate us. We were banged up. Just to get the with a full healthy team, completely different team. Um, but yeah, this is going to be one hell of a series, man. I'm really looking forward to this. The Garden's going to be tomorrow night, game one. I genuinely believe this Knicks team can beat any of these remaining three teams left. If they
Yeah.
play how they've been playing. They've been playing as a unit and a whole lot of, dumb mistakes. They're shooting the ball pretty well, getting to the line. So, yeah, man, I genuinely can definitely go to the finals, but take it one game at a time, Matt, and for the best. But I'm really, really excited for this. It's been a while as Knicks fan. Nobody deserves it more than Knicks fans. I mean, we've suffered for so long, and now we're 8 games away from it. It's a pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited, man. How you feeling about this series?
I am confident. I really believe this Knicks team can take down the Pacers. While
Yeah,
I do think
yeah,
it's going to be a close series, while I do think it'll go deep, I think it can go with the Knicks in 7 with the home court advantage. They're very sim. The Pacers are very
right.
similar to the Knicks. They're a team that hustles a lot. They're a team that with endurance. They're a team that also plays as a unit that
Mm-hmm.
are extremely well coached by Rick Carlisle. But this Knicks team is simply better than they were last year at this point against the Pacers. You know, take
Mm-hmm.
away Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, you put Mikal Bridges and Carl Anthony Towns. That's huge. That's huge. A fully healthy OG Anunoby. He was the one who missed us some time in the series last year. Jalen Brunson got hurt in the end with his wrist, and he's as good as he can be. I just want the Knicks to utilize their bench more, and you do have good, solid bench players. You will see Deuce McBride, Mitch Robinson. They were essential in the Boston series. Um, Hopefully we see some more Cameron Payne, some Precious
Mm-hmm.
Achua as well. Those are some guys that need to get some more minutes because that's the one thing Indiana has. They have a deep bench. You got Halliburton, Neiman. You got Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, Obi Toppin, former Nick, and a beloved Nick. He's in there. They can
Yeah,
rotate a lot of players
yeah,
all at once. So I think as long as the Knicks utilize their bench a little more, not like with the blowout of Game 6, like late into the game, they're still starters when they were winning by like 40. I think as long as they can, I think they could easily match up. Plus, I don't think the Pacers have a rim protector like Carl Anthony Towns does for the Knicks. That's a huge upgrade, especially from last year. So expect
right,
some double doubles from
right.
him as he plays. The key is for the wings to have big games. When the Knicks beat Boston, usually Mikal Bridges and OG had great games. As long as they could do that, especially, you'll see this Knicks team celebrate a chance to go to the finals for the first time in 26 years. Hasn't happened since 99.
Wow, 26 years. It's
Mm-hmm.
been 26 years since the Knicks went to the final. So that was 2000 or it was
1999.
1999 they
Yeah,
won.
against the Spurs, it got swept. And they were an eighth
Wow.
seed. And
I
now they're
mean,
back.
like you said though about field advantage, dude, they have to absolutely take advantage of that and kick the door down and just come out slugging. They got to take game one. They got to come and really, take advantage of this home court because that's huge. We got no business having home court advantage.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean? Like we're a 3 seed, right? And the Cavs are out, the Celtics are out. It's time to take advantage of that opportunity and show them what we got. I know the guys to get it done. With Karl Anthony Towns, he's a huge addition. He's been playing out of his mind. Obviously, we got Brunson and Hart and Achua and Anobi, and we got a full squad of good ball players. But like you said, man, the Pacers have a really deep bench. They got a lot of good guys on that team. They play very well as a team. They play fast, so it's a really good matchup. I'm not sure what the spread is for game one, but I think it's important, like I said, that the Knicks really come out swinging, get this first game. Um, but we're in for a hell of a series, man. This is going to be a great series.
Yes, we are, brother. Yes, we are. And just so you know, the Knicks are opening at a minus 4.5 point favorite in game one, my brother. 4.5 points.
Wow, that's surprising. I thought it'd be more like 2.5 or 1.5.
Nope. Like I said, this team could beat
I
them, and they're
like
much
it.
better than they were last year. So no excuses.
Yeah,
Let's get this story done and get to the
it's not like
finals.
the days of Roy Hibbert.
No,
Roy
bro. No,
Hibbert, the
no.
fucking and what was it?
Lance Stevenson, there's Paul George.
Yeah, Paul George. That's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That team. That team
The
definitely
infamous
swept us, man.
block in game 6 on Melo that essentially ended the Melo era.
Yeah, yeah. Well, times are change. Times have changed, man. And New York is now, I'd say, the favorite to come out of the East.
Yeah, right?
Um,
Who would have thought the day has come,
which is
Alec?
just crazy. I love it, man. I love it. It's like I said, nobody deserves it more than Knicks fans. We've suffered forever,
Mm-hmm.
and if we do win the conference finals and go to the NBA finals, that city's gonna be partying like there's no tomorrow, man. It's gonna be
Hell yeah,
beautiful.
bro. You gotta join the party on this one. It's literally once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like I said, Knicks haven't won
Oh
since the
yeah.
tower's been up, so it's be very, very big deal, man. So let's enjoy every second. Let's first get there. It's gonna be a long series. It's gonna be an intense couple of weeks, but let's enjoy the ride, my brother Alec.
Let's do it.
And as
Enjoy
for
every game.
yes, we will. And as for the Western Conference, Alec, as we have the Thunder and T Wolves going at it. What's catches your mind on this? We got OKC. They're arguably the favorite to win it all. They're a heavy favorite. That team is deep.
Mhm.
That team has size. That team can shoot. That team has plays defense. That team has the MVP and Shea Gildress Alexander. But you got a Minnesota team that's really rising the ranks. Team to pay attention and watch out for with
Mhm.
Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Nas Reed, um, Jaden McDaniels. So I think they also are a very good team, but I just think Oklahoma City has their number on this one. I think it'll be a little more competitive.
Yeah,
I'll give OKC in 6.
I think this. Yeah, I think the Wolves can definitely give them a good. Man, I'm definitely taking Thunder if I had to pick who's gonna win the series, but I think this Timberwolves team is a very good team. They're pretty well coached. They play good. He's a beast. I'm not gonna, count him out. And what they did to the Lakers was pretty damn impressive. They easily beat the Warriors. I mean, obviously the Warriors didn't have Steph Curry,
Yeah.
but um, I yeah, I still think the Thunder are the team overall. At least they've played like it all season. So it's very hard to pick against that team. But we'll see. I don't know what the score is right now, but last I checked, they were down, I think, 5 at halftime. So,
Yeah, right now it
it's
is 73-62 at this time, closing on the third quarter for OKC. Going on a deep run right now.
okay. Yeah, it looks like they definitely came back. I mean, yeah, it's tough to pick against OKC, man. They've been a unit. They've just been thumping everybody all season. They've been winning every obstacle that's been thrown at them. They've taken advantage of that. They blew out the Nuggets in Game 7 at home. That game was not even close. They won that 35 points. So every time that they do get pressed and seem like they could be gone, they come back swinging pretty hard. So um, yeah, I think this will be a good series, though. I definitely don't think it'll be as good as the Knicks Pacers series. I don't know if it'll go 6 or 7 games. If I had to pick, I'd say Thunder 5 or 6 at most, maybe. But it's hard to tell. I think this first game will give us a good idea of kind of where these teams match up, how they match up. But yeah, Thunder, I think advance and go to the finals, but you still got to play the games. The Thunder, by no means, do they have this in the bag. But
Mhm.
what are your thoughts on this, Matt? Where do you think this series goes?
I actually think OKC would be a little tougher than you think. I just think like right now they're on a 12-2 run. I think especially if Shea puts it on, they're going to be a hard team to stop. Plus that home court advantage is pretty
Yeah,
intimidating. Everybody can sit with the same shirt and everything. But I do think Minnesota could put up a fight
true.
as well, contrary to that. But I think they'll just be close games. But Minnesota, if they make one little mistake, OKC will pounce on that and take advantage. Just get it's just all
Right,
on
right.
SGA really leading the bunch as I think arguably now the MVP,
Now,
especially taking out Jokic literally.
yeah, no, and there's a reason he's the however you pronounce it. No, he's a beast. He's leading team all season. But my question is, if he's having a bad game, SGP, or SGA,
SGA,
I should say, not
mhm,
SGP.
the same
I'm
game
thinking of
parlay.
betting, my bad.
Mm.
If SGA is having a bad night, who does that team turn to get some buckets is my question. Because I know a lot of other teams have second options. I don't watch in Thunder hoops to
Yeah, it'd
really
be Jalen
to
Williams is
really
their
know
second
that.
best player. He doesn't score like he's not really the 20-point scorer. You can get him at 15 points. But I do I do think that you know you gotta watch out for that one. But Jalen Williams,
Yeah. Okay.
I think the second Chet Holmgren could score if he needed to, but yeah, SGA will be a
You're
big
right.
factor here as they have a 10-point lead in this game. He scored 11 in the third quarter alone, SGA. So yeah, watch out for them.
So real quick, like if you were to highlight all 4 teams left, right, in the NBA, you know, obviously you got Brunson, you got SGA, you got Halliburton, and you got Anthony Edwards, right? So those 4 guys are the face of their respective teams, correct?
Can you say that one more time? I just didn't hear that last part.
Oh, my bad. I said those 4 players are the face of their respective teams,
Yeah, yeah,
meaning
yeah, yeah.
Halliburton, Edwards, Brunson, and SGA. So, it's just interesting how in basketball, one, Luka on the Lakers or even LeBron before. Anyways, there's one dude that is counted on night in and night out to usually give you 25, 30 points. So, I know the Knicks have a lot of other options. I don't follow NBA, I guess, close enough to really be like, well, if this guy's having a bad game, then the guy's going to step up. So, anyway, I find that interesting, but I think that the Thunder, it seems like they get very good scoring from all their guys.
Yeah,
Like it's a very balanced act. It's not like they really need SGA to have 40 a night. They can kind of spread the wealth out a bit more. And I think that's what
right.
makes them so deadly.
Yes, and they can
But
board the shit out of them. They're a really good rebounding team, especially. So it's gonna be
tall
intimidating,
team.
but yeah, very tall team.
Now, real quick, going back to the thoughts on the Mavericks winning the draft lottery and likely getting
Hmm. Cooper Flag.
a Cooper Flag from Duke. I mean, do you think that they should? I guess my question is, do you think they should trade that pick and try to go after Giannis or somebody like that if he wants out of
Nah,
Milwaukee?
get the homegrown contract, save money, establish him, and
Yeah,
get your franchise player that way. Giannis is good, but Ty, he's past 30 now, so that's something to pay attention to. I say go for
Yeah,
Cooper
but
Flag.
bro, you're telling me if, and I'm not saying it's for wrong, but you're telling me you would rather try to develop Flag. But your window is only so big. You have Kyrie Irving and you have Anthony Davis. If you could tell me you have Giannis in his prime, yes, he's getting older. No one's getting any younger, but he's still extremely effective. He's still a top two, three player in the NBA. If you could tell me you could get Giannis, AD, and Kyrie, now granted, Kyrie may not be even out next season, but I don't know. It's just interesting. I heard a lot of sports talk people saying that, that would be something they would think about. I personally would not do that. No, I would flag.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
but
Me too. Yeah,
I just thought that was
I think it's a fair point. It's a fair question. Definitely something to think about. But usually these super teams don't really work anymore like they used to, man. It's all about the
you're
homegrown guy. I
right.
mean, look at the final four that's left. SGA, I mean, he was acquired in a trade very early in his career, but pretty much homegrown, and they've built their team through the draft.
Hmm.
Minnesota, similarly, with adding veteran
Hmm.
pieces towards the end. Look at the Knicks as another
Right.
example. They got a lot of their players younger, a lot of through trades and stuff. But I think just try Cooper Flag for all you. I mean, Cooper Flag was holding his own, practicing with the USA team, and if he really turns into a big deal and your franchise player and to make up for Luca, I think even though it's pretty sus how they got in that position, I think it's something to pay attention to and worth considering, and keep Flag and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
appreciate the question, though. I do think it's a good point.
It's a valid terms of, it's a major decision. And I know Nico, what is it? Nico Harrison. He's
Yeah.
got a lot of flash. He got deservedly so for trading Luke Doncic, one of the best players you've ever fucking laid eyes on. You got rid of him. Really the cornerstone of your entire team, the identity of the Mavericks. You traded him, and then you just happen to land Cooper Flag. It's very sus, but yeah, I mean, they got extremely lucky that they got that pick. So now genius, um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds.
There you go, brother. There you go. But I'm excited. I think this is also very good for the NBA to have a brand new team becoming the champion. A champion, either a team is going to win their first franchise championship or a team that hasn't won in over 50 years. So good stuff, something fresh. Let's enjoy it. Am I right, brother?
You are spot on, Matt. And you know what? The Mavericks have a history of doing well with their the guys that they take with thinking back on uh Dirk Nowitzki and what was the other guy? Obviously, Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
So we'll see with this guy, but
It's going to be a wild ride, brother. All right, Alec. To the NHL we go really quick. We got a Final Four there as well.
hmm
So for
yes, sir.
excuse me, as I pull up my notes for the right now, game one, we have the Panthers Hurricanes. It looks like the Panthers are handling them, and they're going to win game one by a score of 4-1 over the Canes. And then in the West, their game one starts at the time of this recording. The Oilers and the Stars. Tell me about the Final Four in hockey. Who do you really like?
Dude, I was talking right, and this Final Four is about as good as you could really get. I mean, these teams are very, very evenly matched. It's a great on both sides. You got the one Canadian team left in Edmonton with McDavid and Draisaitl and Zach Hyman. And, they've had some issues defensively and in net with Skinner. They pulled Skinner in their series against Vegas, I believe. Um, or maybe I think it might have even been the LA Kings series when they pulled Skinner, and they've had some changes in net. But the
Yeah,
Oilers,
right.
man, they're the last remaining Canadian team. They got to beat this absolutely loaded Dallas Stars team. That's going to be an absolute dogfight of a series. I think that'll go 6 or 7. And then you've got, the Hurricanes playing the Panthers. And dude, I'll be honest with you, I don't think the Hurricanes can beat this Panthers team. This Panthers team is really good. They're the defending Cup champs. They won the Stanley Cup last season. Um, they're really good. They got 3 good lines, but I think the Hurricanes are a great matchup for them as well. The Eastern Conference Finals they should be a really good matchup as well. I am a little bit surprised that the Panthers won by that much tonight. They're up 4-1 right now. There's like 3 minutes left, so clearly they're going to win game one on the road, which is huge. To take a 1-0, series lead on the road is absolutely massive in hockey or in any sport for that matter. But yeah, some great matchups. The Maple Leafs got absolutely torched by the Panthers in Game 7, and the Stars they beat who did the Stars beat again? They beat I know. I know they beat the Avalanche.
The Jets,
They beat no, the Jet. That's right. Yes,
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. But the other Canadian team. Yeah,
And Panthers just scored
yeah.
another
So,
throwaway goal. Mhm.
oh, the Panthers did.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. I
So
mean,
five
dude,
to
it's
one up
very.
up on the Canes.
I would, if I had to pick who's gonna win it, I'd say it's either gonna be Edmonton or it's gonna be probably Florida again. I mean, it's hard. It's like the Thunder, man, in NBA. They're dominant. They're a very, very good deep team. I know that's not comparison, but the Florida Panthers, man, they're a wagon. They're a tough team to knock out. There's a reason they won the cup last year. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye on both series. Obviously, I'm going away in a few days, so I don't know how much of these series I'll really be able to catch. Same with the next series, but I'll be watching on my phone. I'll be keeping an eye on these games. So but yeah, in terms of predictions, I would definitely lean Panthers and Oilers. But the Oilers Star series really is kind of like a coin flip for me. I think this Dallas Stars team is for real. They're a really good team. They added some guys at the deadline. Mikko Rantanen, who had a hat trick against his former team in the Avalanche in
Hmm.
Game 7 to eliminate his former team, which was cinema. Beautiful. But yeah, man, dude, if you're not watching the Stanley Cup playoffs, you are not a fan of sports. These guys are bullying each other, they're beating each other up. They can just punch each other in the head whenever they want. It's the best playoffs. You gotta watch this. So yeah, I don't think it gets much better than the final four teams in hockey, man. These are the best four teams left, and every one of these games is gonna be awesome. So, but I want to hear your thoughts, Matt. What are you thinking? Who do you think in advance?
Hey, we're getting a rematch from last year's Stanley Cup. A Stanley Cup that was almost historic with that huge comeback from Edmonton. But this time I think they're coming with a vengeance with the best player in the game in Connor McDavid. And even though
Yes,
the
sir.
Panthers are just so overwhelming, I mean, look at right now, they're handling the Canes like it's nothing. I think Edmonton is
Serious.
the one team that can go toe to toe with them, and they'll make the most of their plays in the neutral zone. They will get shots on target, and Edmonton will get a revenge story. I'll call it, and then next year we'll have the tiebreaker, a third straight cup with those two teams, and it'll real show who the real champ is. But for now, I think Edmonton gets their revenge.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I just checked the score, 5-2. It looks like Carolina just scored a late goal, but yeah, man, I love that. I love that. I would love to see Edmonton win the cup. I'm rooting for a Canadian team, man. I'd like to see a Canadian team win it this year. That would be pretty cool. And especially really just for McDavid, dude. The guy is just a baller. an absolute warrior. He's the best player in the game by a mile, and he deserves it more than anybody. I would love to see the Oilers raise the cup this year, um, but yeah, it's gonna be two great series, Matt.
This is going to be a great series.
The other thing I wanted to mention was how damn good Bobrovsky is on the Panthers, dude. That keeper
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely filthy.
Bro can
He's the
make.
best keeper left, and out of these four teams, he's the best keeper. And when he's on, like he's pretty much a wall in the net. So just keep an eye on that. If, the Panthers are good enough offensively, but when you have one of the best keepers in goal and in net for you, it makes for a deadly combination.
It is, brother. It is, brother. So let's get to that. Let's enjoy the Stanley Cup playoffs as well. When you're not watching the NBA, watch the NHL, have them both on. And yeah, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
this is why May is such an amazing time, the spring for sports. So we also had a major in golf took place. Scotty Scheffler, halfway to the Grand Slam, won his first ever PGA Championship over the weekend with a huge, huge comeback, rise at the ranks, big moving day. And, there's that guy,
Yes,
Johnny
sir.
Vegas, which I can't believe that was his actual name. He was leading the first 2 days. Then it was pretty much Rahm and Scheffler, a PGA guy and Live guy going back to back. And it was Scotty as the one to win it. What do you think about that, bro? And Scotty Scheffler, man, goes from a convict to a PGA championship within a year.
Dude, I thought it was a great tournament. I unfortunately I didn't watch really any of this. I know it was at Quail Hollow down in North Carolina. Um, and like you mentioned, Scotty, that was the course, or this was the major where he had gotten arrested. What was it, last season or
Yes,
two
exactly.
seasons ago?
Yes, I think it was last
Hey, he
season.
finished 11. Dude, he finished 11 under though. That's a great score. DeChambeau was 6 under, tied for second. Um, but no, the big story was where the hell was Rory? He was nowhere to be found on this leaderboard. I think he's like tied for 79th or something. So yeah, it was a great tournament. Not as big as the Masters, obviously. Not a lot of people, tuned in compared to the Masters. McElroy is tied for 47th at 3 over par. Um, a lot of people thought he might come out and win this major as well. Well, yeah, I'm happy for Scotty. He's the best golfer in the world. Not really surprised he won, but that's his, what is that, his third major he's won?
Yep, his third one. Two Masters and now a PGA.
Yeah. So I did hear there was a lot of hole-in-ones at this PGA championship, or at least there was more than one, which was pretty cool to see. But yeah, I just saw the clip of Scotty with his kid when he was going to, I guess he was going for an interview or something. He gave his kid his like scorecard and his hat just to play with. That was a pretty cute clip. But yeah, I didn't watch much of this tournament, to be honest with you. I was tuned into other stuff this weekend and just kind of busy. But I did see that Scotty won it, and yeah, I mean he won it pretty easily too. He won it by like 4 or 5 strokes.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing we just have to establish. Scotty Scheffler's the best golfer in the world, bro, and it's gonna be hard to bring him
Oh
down.
yeah.
And I feel bad. Rory did terrible. That was the other thing that took place the PGA weekend. That bro just was not his weekend on a course that he's usually good at.
No. No, he didn't play very good. I mean, he wasn't like he didn't stink the joint up, but it was like, 3 over for him is obviously not very good. I was a little bit surprised to see him so far down the leaderboard, but a bit of a hangover. He just won his first green jacket. I'm sure he had a lot on his mind, and it's insanely hard to win anything in golf, let alone a major championship. So definitely a testament to Scotty on how well he's played over the last few years. There's no doubt about it, he's the best golfer in the world in terms of consistently winning or placing top fives or top tens. He is it.
Hmm. All right, all right. I like that, bro. So we will now wait in about 4 weeks for the U.S. Open Father's Day weekend, and we're gonna get ready for
Yep.
that stuff.
Yes,
All
sir.
all right, Alec. Last thing to talk about: Major League Baseball. Let me talk to the one of the best Yankee fans I know. How we feeling about Yankees taking 2 out of 3 from the Mets, first of all, and then let's talk about Juan Soto after that. But first, tell me about how we feel about the Yankees taking 2 out of 3 from the Mets.
Bro, I'm happy as could be. I mean, Max Fried absolutely shoved on Sunday night. Carlos Rodon pitched very well on Saturday. With the exception of some walks, he was a little bit wild. Um, but yeah, dude, I was extremely happy with the way that the Yankees played over the weekend. They've been playing well. Excuse me. That's now 3 series, I believe, in a row that we've beaten good teams.
Yeah,
We took 2 out of 3 from Seattle. We took 2 out of 3 from San Diego, and now 2 out of 3 from the Mets. And we shut their fan base up. They're acting like it's no big deal. We all know that was a big series. We know that that was the one time we could see Soto back at Yankee Stadium. Unless we're meeting in the World Series, that's the only time that Soto was going to make a return. And I'm
yeah.
happy, man. We shot him right down. He was non-existent in that series. I think he
One
had
for
one
10.
hit, um, 1 for 10, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. Completely non-existent. I love that Bellinger hit a grand slam right over his head to basically close that game out on Sunday night.
Poetic
And we even
justice.
saw a couple of what's that?
It's poetic justice.
Oh my dude, yeah, literally, it was so funny. I was like, well, that's over the fence. Granted, it was like one row back, but still a home run. I think the Mets, they didn't even hit a home run all weekend. The Mets, no
Haha,
home
nope,
runs
not one.
in
Losers.
3 games. So it's safe to say that, the Yankees, they look good. They got a firm grasp on first place right now. I think they're like 4.5, 5 games up on the Red Sox. Obviously, we're still very, very early in the season. So this is not by any means, the World Series or anything like that. But this was a big weekend,
Yep.
mainly for the fact that Soto returned. And I think, we could talk all night about Soto and, oh, like, yeah, he was just here for a year, but the bleacher creatures turned their backs on him, and
As
other
they
fan
should.
bases are saying, yeah, but other fan bases are saying, what are you guys doing? You guys are clowns. This is
Well,
pathetic.
guess
He was
what?
only there
They're
for a
not
year.
awesome New Yorkers like us. They could touch grass. They could go do,
Exactly.
they could go kiss each other or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's dumb. Stop worrying about us.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Carabas for one came out and was just
Clown.
torching. He's torching the guy who runs the bleacher creatures.
I
That
saw
legend
that.
guy. And he's saying, "Oh, like these guys are clowns. Get over it."
Get over it.
He
Let me
they're
ask
acting like
that
he was Yankee.
stupid idiot if Jalen Duran just bounced or Alex Bregman. These people are like, it's so dumb. Of course I'm gonna get mad if
Yeah.
a beloved player leaves. What do you
Well,
I'm sorry, give a damn. Fucking
here's the
clown.
thing about the Soto thing, though. That's why Yankees fans have a right to be upset. Is number one, he left, right? Okay, that's fine. We knew there was a chance he was going to leave. It's the fact that he chose our crosstown hated rivals that haven't won anything in forever. And he
Yep.
even came out and said, I feel like I have a better chance of winning in Queens. And that is the biggest slap in the face to the Yankees and the fans that, gave him nothing but love all last season. You could say he's a sellout or whatever. I think legitimately he didn't want to live in Judge's shadow his whole career. I think he really looks up to and respects Judge and understands that Judge is probably a better player than him. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Judge is better defensively.
Deep.
And no one ever really talks about that, but there's a part of me that thinks Soto just does. He wants to be the guy. He doesn't want to be like, oh, it's me and Judge. No, I want it to be my team. And then there's all the stuff about him not hustling and not doing the Soto shuffle and having no enthusiasm and all that shit is all blown out of proportion. And the guy's a stud. He's gonna be a stud for a while. Um, did the Mets overpay and give him way too big of a contract? Yes. The guy's made Matt, you know how much Juan Soto makes per game? Take a guess.
Like $10,000.
He said $10,000. Try
Uh,
300. Try $300,000, Matt.
for somebody who can't hit home like on that throw or being
Right, right.
nonchalant against the Red Sox early this series.
Dude, there's a reason he's getting criticized. When you're making more money than some teams have an entire payroll, you bet your fucking ass you're gonna hear it when you're not running out of the box. You know what I'm saying, dude? This guy signs the biggest contract in Major League Baseball history. He's making $300,000 a game, and you can't be bothered to run hard out of the box. You can't be bothered to stay for interviews after your team just
Yeah.
got embarrassed on Sunday Night Baseball. So there's a lot of things that Mets fans are legitimately pissed off about. And they have every right to be. You know what I mean? Yes, we had Juan Soto last year. He played his ass off. He was great. We loved him. Let's move on. He's a Met now, whatever. But as a, as someone, if someone was a Mets fan, or if you are a Mets fan, I should say, you have every right to be a little bit pissed off at the way Soto's been looking. Lackadaisical, not really caring, this and that. So that's my main point was when you're making the big bucks, you're gonna hear it. You signed up for this, buddy.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the spotlight, don't sign a fucking 15-year, 800 billion fucking dollar contract.
Hmm.
Um, do I think he's worth that? No, he's really not, dude. Is he clutch? Is he awesome? Is he big in big moments? Yes, but his defense is like whatever, and his speed is awful. So, I would much
Reap
rather
what
have,
you sow, Met fans.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like, you know, it's a long season. I think a lot of this is blown out of proportion, but long story short, it was nice to see the Yankees take 2 out of 3. The Mets beat up on us a little bit last season. Um, And that rivalry will always be there, just like Yankees Red Sox will be. Those are the biggest games of this season. Yankees Mets. It's not like we're playing the Rays or the Cardinals or the Blue Jays. These games they mean a little bit more. So it was nice to see them play good and take 2 out of 3.
Bring the boom with that one, but great
Bring
stuff
the
for the
boom.
Yankees, man. I think we hit everything we needed to tonight. Great work as always, Alec. I'm gonna miss you again next week, but we'll see you back in a couple of weeks. And by the time you're back, I hope we're talking about a Knicks NBA playoffs appearance. Sorry, NBA playoffs. A Knicks finals appearance. And then we
Yes,
could get
sir.
the big rematch in the NHL with Edmonton and Florida, and then more Yankees winning, and then a bunch of dancing in between. But you the man, Alec Reaves. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in a couple weeks, buddy.
You the man, Matt. Thank you as always for having me on, Matt. And I will see you within 2 weeks. Yes, sir. We'll be back on. We'll cover the rest of the sports news.
Can't wait. See you later, my brother.
Uh